Aftershow. We have significantly less donuts with us now,
Oh.
but we have added a dog. So there's that. This is called a memo bottle. It was an amazing Kickstarter that started in Australia. I actually just recently won it on an Instagram contest. But yeah, it's designed to be shaped kind of like a book, so it fits into any sort of bag that you may have. And I just want
to... Is this an infomercial? Is there a number on the screen where we can buy one of these right now?
Click right here if you guys want to buy a memo bottle. But yeah, thanks guys for sticking around.
I like the entire Nuscreen team is pretty much willing to shill for Andy. If I learned one thing this afternoon, that's what it is. We will mention your brand on Facebook Live.
We love meat and cheese and we really like coffee. If you fit into any of those categories,
if you will send us free, I think this is like the exact opposite. This is like the exact opposite of the influencer rules we were just talking about.
Yeah, it actually is.
I will say anything you want if you will give me free stuff.
So guys, we talked a lot about social media in our social media Facebook Live show.
That was actually not on Facebook.
Our Facebook Live that was not on Facebook. Shouts to YouTube for hooking it up.
YouTube Live.
YouTube Live. But we talked about like what is going to be happening in the future of social media, but we didn't really talk about like what's going to be happening in the future for careers in social media. So from two people that are heavily entrenched in social media as a career, what do you guys think is going to happen? Do you think jobs are going to grow? Do you think jobs are going to... What do you think, Charlie? What do you guys think about careers in social media?
Oh, we're talking about stuff we're not just playing with dogs on camera, right? I don't think there are going to be careers in social media. I think there's just going to be like marketing careers and like I think we talked about it. It's like social is just going to sort of just become part of like
digital strategy.
Part of digital, and which can encompass anything from marketing to communications to customer service to all those things. It's there's kids who are growing up now and it's just like social media is their life. So it's just going to be sort of like embedded with how they do things. It's gonna be actually my boss, one of my bosses said this in a talk yesterday. It's just gonna be a skill you had. So like when we were growing up, like our parents didn't use computers, and so for them learning to like have to type all the time was a skill that they had to learn. Whereas like people like you and I, although I'm still not a really great typist, but I can get by and I can type like fast enough.
Mavis Beacon?
I actually had a really good Mario one, like on one of like my first computers. It was Mario. Mario teaches the typing.
No way.
Yeah, no, it was really good. But like
when I grew up, it was someone like rollerblading, like. You had to like make sure that the rollerblader didn't fall down by typing correctly.
Oh yeah. What was that game that was like everybody like freaked out about for like 2 days last year with the guy who was running and you had to do the Q and something?
Yeah.
But anyways,
did it have a name or was it just
Cave
that?
Runner?
No, it was something. I think it was just like the keys you used. It was like Q something. Anyways, but like so social media is just going to be like a skill that like people like I understand how that platform works and I understand how this works and we can make it work, but they're just going to be you're not going to hire people as social media marketers anymore. They're just going to go back under the regular marketing umbrellas. Like you don't hire typists anymore. It's just people know how to type. And,
yeah. I think that one of the challenges that will probably or hopefully be overcome is like how that like roles evolve. So one of the things that we're seeing with like a lot of the startups we work with is like being able to hire like a CMO, because what falls under marketing now is it's marketing, it's traditional marketing, it's digital, it's social media, it's everything. So people that are like a marketing director now are expected to know all of these things, where even like 10 or 20 years ago you didn't have to know even half of the amount of stuff, right?
No, it's true. So like being like a B2B company, it's like being in marketing, I have to know a lot about sales as well, and the sales cycle and how the funnel works and how to like qualify leads and things like that from a marketing perspective before like they even get passed on to sales people. So the marketing role has taken over a lot more. I think there was there's been a couple articles like in like the past like 6 months, year, and they say that like marketing CMO people. Apparently, my shirt is riding up again. I gotta sit like somewhere different on the couch next time we do this. I'm sitting myself like in a real chair. I swear, a different shirt. What was I talking about? Marketing something? Oh, the CMO is going to have more budget for like technology stuff than like the guy who runs IT.
Yeah.
Because everybody's just using all these things.
Yeah.
What do you think's gonna happen, Graeme?
Are you going to be out of a job?
As a newcomer.
I know, I'm going to be out of a job apparently. No, hopefully social media
Just
just
create
goes...
one. That's what I did.
I'm just going to create
what I
a job
did.
for myself. The new generation is all about innovation instead of curation, right?
I don't know.
Someone-
I'm old. I'm old. You tell me. You're the new
Someone was paying
generation.
attention to my trend report summary.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, the brand stylist interns strikes again.
Can we throw disruption in there somewhere as well? No, we're not. All right, we're not into disruption.
Throw a guru in there.
Oh, there's a good job. Maybe that'll be my next job. Disruption guru.
That's a good one.
I think it'll look good on a business card.
Change your LinkedIn today.
Yeah.
Yes.
Those recruiters will eat that up.
So for all the people that are watching on my Facebook and who might be more
Oh, is that where broadcasting through? I was wondering what she was doing.
I think we're doing
Oh
double
God.
duty.
Who might be more in my generation of things? My boss.
Are we 100?
I know, you make me feel really old.
We're literally 100.
Okay, so my boss, Meg Button, CEO and co-founder of Nuscreen.
Let me just go get my walker and go take my afternoon nap.
She
'cause I'm
was telling
100.
me. She was
Wait, hang on a
telling
second.
me that
I'm
we should.
100% for afternoon naps. Always.
Oh, don't get me started on naps. I could talk.
The
about naps.
walker I could do without, but like naps, like I don't care how old I am.
I'm a big fan of NASA naps. If anyone knows what a NASA nap, it's
No,
it's,
enlighten us.
It's
Upside down napping? Yeah, we're too old to know what this is.
no.
Come on.
So NASA and their astronauts have researched sleep patterns, and the ideal nap time is 26 minutes because it's long enough to like where you are refueling your body, but it's short enough to where you don't slip into the second cycle of sleep. So you don't get sleep inertia when you wake up from your nap. So it's almost like meditation, but I mean, I get made fun of it all the time.
I've actually been like mastered those. Like it's like I got half an hour at home.
Yeah.
Can I sneak in a nap?
Yeah.
And a lot of the times I do, and it's actually true. Like you do feel like more refreshed. You wake up from like 20 minutes of sleeping than
Yeah.
if you do from 2 hours.
It's true.
Granted, I will take those 2 hours if I could get them. But like, but yeah, no. I used to like just like be like I got half an hour before I got to run to something else. Let me see if I can close my eyes. My alarm goes off, and I'm like, I'm good to go.
Yeah. Okay, so before
I
we
didn't
got
know
onto that,
those are officially called NASA naps.
NASA naps.
That's true. I forget. What were we talking about?
We're just talking about
Okay,
things Graeme
no,
likes.
What else do you like?
It's
We're-
Graham's favorite things. He's gonna start giving away stuff like Oprah.
Okay, you get a memo bottle. So, you were telling me young people should just ditch their resumes and make sure their LinkedIn profile is like on point.
More or less.
Do you have anything else to like elaborate on that?
I think that like how employers evaluate people now is different. Like I think a lot of people that I talk to that are looking to hire are looking at people more holistically.
Okay.
So you're looking at like the types of content you create, you're looking at their LinkedIn, you're maybe looking at what they do socially, maybe what events they're involved in. So I think the idea of like when people send me like a PDF or a Word doc and they're like, here's all about my life, like it's very like flat and it doesn't really give a lot of dimension to the person. So I feel like if I were out trying to find a job, I would look at my whole social footprint. So like do a Google search of your name, see what appears, like try to monitor some of that stuff.
I'd be terrified to do a Google search for my name.
That's why you're in a long-term relationship with your employer.
No, a happy one, a happy relationship.
Relationship.
Hi, bosses. No, I think that's actually interesting. I think you totally have a point that like people look at the whole holistic like view of everybody, but I still like I can't remember the last time I've seen somebody be like, "No, we don't want your resume."
Well, what's on the resume that's not on your LinkedIn?
No, that's true. And I've also heard that like most recruiters like they just like scan through a resume anyways. Look for a couple buzzwords.
I look for typos and then I throw them out.
True.
So is that how Graeme got his job? He didn't have any typos in his resume. He's like, that's good. That's good enough to work for Nuscreen.
No, I actually gave you
Did you just
the link
Snapchat
to my
resume?
website.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Is it a good website? What is it? Plug it.
Plug it, Graeme.
It's Graeme-Montgomery.com. You can check me out and send me an email if you want to collab.
So I interviewed an individual once, and he sent me a beautifully crafted resume. It was designed, it was well written, and I did my quick little search. And maybe a half hour before I was about to interview him, and I found a blog that he had written. And his blog that he had was dedicated to bashing all of his current coworkers at his current job. So he had literally documented like a play-by-play of like what happened during the day and like why this person was incompetent and why his client was incompetent.
With his real name attached to it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good thing you didn't hire him.
So when we were in
what is Graeme saying about you with his alias though?
Yeah. Well, So yeah, I had a pretty fun interview with the guy though. I still had him come in and I asked him some questions about how he likes to work with others and what his communication skills are like. But then I started calling his coworkers by name and I think it freaked him out a little bit.
Really?
And I started talking about actual situations.
So how do you feel about Bonnie?
And I was like actually reliving things that happened in the vlog. So I'm like, hypothetical. Say a client was to come in 10 minutes late and one of your coworkers didn't have the stuff printed in time. So tell me a little bit about how you'd react. So it was pretty fun, but I think there's stuff like that where your personal life, I think, kind of melds into your professional life a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
I think you can have your own voice, but I do think that it absolutely plays a factor in like your professional life.
My only criticism for LinkedIn is that, especially when someone wants to get into a creative field, LinkedIn is so static and cookie cutter. That's why I don't really like LinkedIn. Although now that I've started here, I kind of see there's definitely the advantage of creating a bigger network and seeing who's connected to who. So
I don't think LinkedIn's the bar. I think LinkedIn is the baseline. I think you have to have it as like a minimum, but then I think you should do a fan tweet this.
Well, I think it's interesting because you also hear like a lot of people and they're like, well, why would I use LinkedIn? I'm not looking for a job right now. And like people like will only like start to update it. It's like, oh, I need to find a new job. Now I'll start to update my LinkedIn. Although I was at this the social media week opening party yesterday, and 3 people came up to me and they were like, I was talking to them like, oh, I'm going to add you to LinkedIn. It used to always be everyone wants to add you on Twitter. Now they were like, I want to add you on LinkedIn, and they pull out their phone, and I'm like, am I the only person who doesn't have the LinkedIn app on their phone? And
Men,
they were,
do you?
Of course I do.
Oh.
Do you?
Yeah.
I was just like, I don't, and maybe I'm of that mindset. Like, I post stuff on LinkedIn for my company, for my personal, but I don't know if like I need it. Like, what do I need LinkedIn on the go for? No offense, LinkedIn.
LinkedIn on the go.
Right, but you know what I mean? It's like my Twitter. It's like, all right, I'm walking down the street, something hilarious happened. I'm gonna write something funny about it. So, it's like, oh, I just thought of something really interesting. I should update my resume. No, seriously, like, I want to pose this to you as like an actual question. What do I need LinkedIn on the go for?
I think that there's a lot of good information about companies. I think building your network. So like people are trying to add you on the go. I think that that's maybe a little intense.
Some last minute research.
Like I usually add people after, but I also think like for me, a lot of the content that I like, I would go to LinkedIn before I'd look to Facebook or Twitter for content that I'd want to read. So I read like LinkedIn Pulse. I read like the business section of things.
Yeah, but you read 200 page trend reports before bed. You're really into it.
I do.
I mean, those are interesting. I don't know if I could do all 200 pages right before bed. But.
Some light reading.
That's what calms me down. That's what relaxes me.
That's a light reading. You should see the novels she reads.
Anything with hardcore statistics is very calming to me. But yeah, like I think for me, like LinkedIn is. I like the network building. I like to see like how people are connected, but I really do like the content. I think there's a lot of people that make it really cheesy right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's good, and I think you can you can follow people without like seeing all the rest of it, it's just like their professional, like filtered version of themselves.
Yeah.
Which
Okay.
with some people I like, because I don't necessarily want to follow them on Twitter, but I want to be connected to them.
That's fair. So I'm not rushing to download the app right now, but I'm a little bit more sold on it than I was before we started this conversation.
I think it's a personal thing.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I feel like I get like content from so many places already.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I flip through my Facebook. Everybody's sharing stuff. I go on Twitter. Everybody's sharing stuff. I have Flipboard. I have like Pocket where I've saved all the other stuff I haven't had time to read yet.
Yeah, I almost never click on any content that I see in my Facebook feed. Like, I don't really like any of it. I usually just look at like what my family's doing, but I don't really read any of the articles or watch the videos because I find it a lot of fluff. So I don't know.
I ran out of room in my phone. I don't even have Twitter on my phone anymore.
Hang on a second. So you deleted Twitter because you have too many pictures? Do you not own a computer? I honestly every couple months I take all the pictures off of my phone.
I just recently discovered Google Photos, and that saved my life.
Big fan of that also. But I never understand this one also. Why everybody always needs like years and years worth of pictures
on your phone.
On the phone. Google Photo was now I have that, and like the other day I was like, oh yeah, I want to show you this picture from when I was in Australia in 2009, and like I was able to do it.
Yeah.
But it's like everybody does like these like TBT posts on Thursday. I'm like, where do you find these pictures? I'm like, all my pictures are so long gone. Like I don't know where they're coming from.
When did Facebook albums stop? Because remember that was like a thing where everyone was up someone would go on vacation, you get the vacation album, or you get the weekend album, or you would get the.
Now it's just a bunch of random pictures here and there.
Summer 16.
Or it's like this person just uploaded 100 pictures.
Yeah.
But there's no album for it.
Or the person who connects their phone to the Facebook and they just get the whole dump of all of them without them being censored.
Wall photos.
But hang on, so I want to go back to Graeme here for a second though. Okay. So having room for all those photos on your phone is now making you start to delete apps.
Yeah.
You would rather have photos than apps.
Yeah. So personally, I'm
curious. I want to know what he says. I want to know what he has to say about it.
I don't use Twitter in out of professional capacity. So I now made the shift to Instagram. So I focus way more of whatever I content.
Did you push your Instagram to Twitter?
Pardon?
Do you push your Instagram to Twitter?
No, only specific photos. Just because I don't really have much of a following on Twitter. But yeah,
you're never going to get one with that attitude.
But yeah, so I when I started focusing on Instagram more, I prioritized my photo storage to my Twitter.
Interesting.
And I also don't have the LinkedIn app on my phone.
Graeme?
I'm with him on that one. I can't.
What's your most used app on your phone?
My most used app on my phone? It's probably one of the Twitter apps I use.
What Twitter apps do you use?
So for a really long time, my favorite mobile Twitter app was Hootsuite because I was able to manage myself
different accounts.
And a couple and the company accounts that I was working with. But the other thing I liked about it was that you set it up with all your lists and things like that. I've always had the actual Twitter app on my phone, but I never really used it because I can't find my lists on there, and without it, I've never been able to find it. But I was talking with somebody in my office, and they were showing me moments on Twitter, and I was like, "Oh, this is actually really cool and really awesome to flip through." And then I also started liking it because there's that little button that lets me easily add GIFs to my tweets.
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan of GIFs. We talked about before. I don't use emojis. GIFs. I'm all over.
Your Noto emojis. You use stickers and use GIFs.
I only use those. I've just recently started using those stickers. I don't know how I feel about it. But no, I never use emojis. I actually have. Somebody edited one of my blog posts at work and put it in a little happy face, and I was like, do I have to keep that in there? And I was like, this is actually the first time I've ever really used an emoji in writing anywhere.
In a blog post? That's bold.
That is bold.
It was bold. It worked really well.
I barely like exclamation marks.
Oh yeah.
Oh, exclamation marks! I'm all over though.
Oh, I take those out.
No.
I'm not an excited person.
No.
I'm easily excited. Oh, look, a dog.
Is that the end of your questions?
Yeah, other than I liked the what's your most used app, but you never answered.
That's because I asked the question.
That's true. What is your most used app,
My
man?
most used app would be... What are you looking at me like that for?
My arms are getting tired.
Oh, I thought you were like, you know what your app is. I'm like, I don't know.
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
I was gonna say. Sadly, it probably really is my email because I gotta keep checking it all the time. But
I was literally gonna say probably the email app, the
I was-
calculator app.
Calculator app, yeah.
what's your most used app that didn't come installed with your phone?
I have the worst one.
The Uber app.
Uber, yeah.
Uber
Yeah.
Eats.
Uber Eats, yeah.
Dora.
Yeah, you guys got my number, yeah.
Travel and
Yeah.
baking.
Yeah. Open table?
Yeah.
You're a big
Oh,
table
she's a
user.
reserver.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, I never do that.
No?
No.
It
I love
usually
it.
happens because we're walking down the street after work and we try and get into every single place. A fan will be like, I'll just run in and check. And each time it's an hour, Meg just like starts getting more and more impatient and she just opens open table, finds one, and that's where we're going.
Yeah.
I'm a big reservation person too.
Same.
Yeah.
Are you? I never do that. So like when I go like for dinner with like my family, they're like, "Yeah, make a reservation." Like, where do you want to go? Well, let's try this place. Make a reservation. I'm like, really? And then I'll do it, but and then like you show up sometimes and it's like Sunday night dinners with your family. You show up and like you're the only people in that restaurant. I'm like, glad I made that reservation.
Yeah, I do that sometimes. It's kind of embarrassing when I'm like, make sure that there's like a table and I go and there's no one there. But you get dining points and then you get like, they send you like a dining check.
Really?
So Open Table just sent me like a $65 dining check.
What?
Yeah.
Guys,
I think I have room on my
Wait,
phone
wait.
for that one.
It's worth
Or not deleted include food-related apps. Twitter's out the way. What about LinkedIn? Would you delete LinkedIn to make room for photos?
I was just
that's
thinking,
a
would I
tough
delete
question.
LinkedIn before I would delete Twitter? I think I would keep LinkedIn and I would delete Twitter. I think.
It's fair. Everybody's got their network.
Yeah. Not sure.
Alrighty, well, our camera woman's.
Wait, hang on. What's
arms
yours?
are getting Pardon?
What's yours?
Oh, my most used app?
I guess your photos app.
Instagram. And
Your photos
ViscoCam.
app. We've already established that. There's no room for anything
Yeah.
else. I only have one app on my phone.
I have Instagram. I have ViscoCam. I have Snapchat. I'm not the huge I like Snapchat, but something about Snapchat makes me feel guilty. Like I should be in the moment, instead of having something in front of my face. With Instagram, 99% of what I post is not in the moment. Like it'll be like days or at least hours.
But you took the picture in the moment anyways. You've already taken your
yeah.
phone out.
Yeah, that's true. But
I'm just saying.
I know.
I
Snapchat.
feel like now we're talking about a bigger thing, like all of life. Like what is being
Snapchat-
in the moment and what is
Snapchat and Instagram are just like so different to me.
Yeah, they're very different.
Instagram is I take Instagram probably too seriously. And I don't even make money off of it. But
Well,
Snapchat's just
not yet.
fun. Yeah, once Memo Bottle gives me a deal.
Keep plugging it.
Okay. Well, thank you, Sheldon. You can follow him on Twitter at 40deuce, which is 40deuce. You can
Oh,
you can follow Meg
40
Button. You can follow Meg Button
Can you change
at
it
Meg
to
Button.
that?
And you can follow
Yes.
me on Instagram at GraemeGM.
and you can also follow Char at Char86. That's CHAR.
I like the people that are following this feed from these two cameras are like, what is happening
yeah,
over here?
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Now who gets this?
Bye.
Oh. And then there was one. Ooh, shit.